Subba, sir.
Namaste and greetings to all the leaders of UPF, the leaders of Rotary Club, and my fellow uh, friends, ladies and gentlemen, and a very special keynote speaker, Mr. Koji Matsuda. Greetings from Sikkim, India, on behalf of the entire people of Sikkim. First of all, I'd like to thank the Rotary Club and the UPF for organizing this special event where where we can discuss about the challenges and the opportunities, as I have been informed by Mr. Krishna Adhikari, and of course one of my very fun friend that we are very close, and we will be discussing regarding the challenges and the opportunities for youth, COVID-19 and beyond. So whenever we talk about the human civilization or the humankind that we are living here, we have always longed for peace. And once uh, the chaos of the world is settled, we feel like we are in peace. But gradually, again, rightly uh, pointed out by Mr. Adhikari and also Mr. Matsuda, that the human greed and the way the people act on the civilization, which is creating the chaos, which is getting us, all of us, into the trouble. So now, if we keep aside all the other troubles of the world, which we have faced till now, we are facing one of the greatest tragedies, one of the greatest crises in our lifetime. Our generation is facing one of the greatest tragedies. Though we have overcome number of tragedies, the world wars, the pandemic in 1917, the Spanish flu. We have overcome all this, but despite all this, we are forced to face this kind of crisis time and again. And what I feel is we are the reasons, because we have been too greedy in doing things for ourselves only. I'd like to uh, give a small example, because it's about the global citizenship that Mother Moon and Father Moon have always emphasized. They have always preached about the global citizenship, the global peace. Sikkim is a small state, tucked away in eastern Himalayas, away from the Indian mainland, and we have only two entry points from the Indian mainland. So when the pandemic started in January, India first reported a COVID case in January, but it was normal till March, first week of March. And we tried as a government, our party is in the government, we are in the government, so we tried to isolate ourselves. And with the lockdown, we could buy some time, we could manage some time, and we could build up labs and all those things. But we were aware that one cannot be isolated from this crisis for long. So we were COVID free for about 3 months, starting from February, March, April, and then our state reported first COVID-19 in May 23rd only. So that was because we isolated ourselves from the rest of the country and the world, which led us to COVID free. But we were deep inside, we knew that we had to face this crisis, because the world is one. Sikkim belongs to the world and the country, the great nation, India. So it's not possible to isolate yourself from the rest of the world. That means we are so interconnected. We are so much dependent on each other. We should believe, we should not forget that our lives are interdependent with each other, whichever country we might belong to, whichever state we might belong to. But there is a link between us, which will gradually uh, uh, lead us to be one. But in so many cases, because of the prevailing technology, we have a high-tech internet services nowadays. We are connected by information technology and other technologies. But our mind is, I feel that we are still isolated from so many things. The wall, the border, which coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic didn't recognize the border we made, the walls we erected. And at the time, we feel that we are only separated by our mindsets. And I was watching a live interaction of Yusuf Mohammed, Professor Yusuf Mohammed from Bangladesh. And he so rightly mentioned that when we come back to a new normal after COVID-19, uh, we should come back with a human culture, not as a culture of one country or one class or one caste or anything, but with the culture of humanity, the human culture. And that is so true. We have forgotten our human culture because we have been protecting our narrow cultures so much. So these are the things. While I would not be taking much time, and also I did not prepare the presentation like Mr. Matsuda Adi and Mr. Krishna Adhikariji. Next time, if we sit, I will definitely prepare. But this time, I will be discussing, I want to discuss actually only two very relevant issues of youth. Because India is one of the youngest country in terms of the average age of the population. More than 60% of population are youth here. We are young. We have a huge potential. We can do so much if the youth potential is channelized in a proper manner. But though the government, the associations, the stakeholders have been trying all these things, but despite all that, we have somewhere failed to channelize the real potential of the youth. So first, I would like to uh, only two things: the challenges in education and unemployment, challenges of education and unemployment, and the opportunities that we can grab during this time. Now, while talking about education, we we still have a traditional way of teaching learning procedure. Yes, we still have that uh, traditional way of teaching and learning. So due to the closure of schools and institutions all over the world, we have more than 1.5 billion students affected, and that includes youth also. And it has been estimated that if 1 year of schooling is lost, then for an individual, more about 7 to 10% of his lifetime income will be lost. His lifetime income will be reduced by about 7 to 10%. So because of this pandemic, we are having this level of uh, lockdown. We are closing down the institutes. We are closing down the schools. We did not want to close it down, but the pandemic has forced us to close down the schools and institutions. Now this will have this impact will go on for some time, because we have closed down the schools, and we should not consider this, that it will impact our present only. This will impact a decade later also, or two, because whatever we have lost, we cannot bring back our age. We cannot bring back our time. We cannot bring back the time of those brilliant students, those bright students, and those students who were working hard enough to learn something. But this will impact a decade later, when it comes to the human capital. This will also affect the progress of the nation and the world as a whole. So we had to switch without any preparation to the online teaching learning method, which was just an year ago or so. If some leader or some politician or some professors, if someone talked about taking the whole education system online, then that would just be considered as a vision of a person. But abruptly, when a COVID-19 pandemic hit us, we had to switch our teaching learning process uh, totally online. And we were not most of the countries, uh, developing countries and underdeveloped countries, the countries like ours, we were not prepared enough to get into that mode of teaching and learning. That led to a huge setback, which will cost us dearly, not only in present but in the coming future also, or decade later also. So these are the challenges that we had to face. Now the challenge was only not limited to the shifting of the teaching learning process, but also the inequality that already existed in terms of economy, in terms of poverty. So those who had enough to get the technical electronic uh, uh, resources ready for teaching and learning online, they had a greater advantage than those who could not afford this. And these are the realities that we had to face during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are still facing. We as a government, we as a representative, these are the things which can show us the clear divide among the class of people. And this is also the reason why we cannot aspire for peace, why we cannot aspire for a global peace until and unless this kind of disparity exists. And also because of this pandemic, the digital divide, the economic disparity, all this led us to so much of setback, which will impact us a lot in coming days. As far as unemployment challenge is concerned, this is an issue since the very beginning, not only in the pandemic, but what we have seen is that unemployment has increased substantially during the time of a pandemic. If I have to cite an example, then I don't have to come up with the data, but instead I can just cite how when the lockdown in 25th March was imposed nationwide in India, we witnessed the migrant laborers, those working in the big cities, they had to leave the city and go back to their native places. Now we can just understand how much of unemployment in India must have increased. And if we look at the developed nations, or the rich nations like the US, there have been a twofold, threefold increase in unemployment rate. In India also, unemployment rate is high. And this is the reason that our youth are uh, our youths are the impact of unemployment on youth uh, is not just their income, it's not just their living, but they have been stressed mentally, they have been affected mentally, which leads to the draining away of the potential they usually have. So unemployment because of this pandemic has increased so much that we have to rethink the way we run our government, the way we do our things, the way we have been doing till date, and what is next, what are we going to do to cope up with this situation. Now these are the things, actually the challenges that we have been facing. And in terms of entrepreneurship, when a person is trying to come up with new innovative idea, and which he has been implementing recently, they have been affected worse. So these are the challenges that we have been facing nowadays in this pandemic. But also we have opportunities. We also have opportunities regarding the issues. If we look into these issues deeply, then we have the opportunity to change the entire paradigm to the next level, which will help us create a new system of the world. So if we are to focus into the education, we were just happy with what we had. We were just happy with whatever we were doing, but we would have changed it if we wanted, but we just considered that to be a vision which a future generation will do. We thought in that manner, that we were wrong. Now our generation have faced this pandemic, these difficulties in education and unemployment. There are other ample number of issues that we can discuss, but I have just limited myself to these two issues because these are the main issues pertaining to the youth of the world uh, as a whole. So if we start a new system, new way of education system, like online teaching learning system, with the help of the government, to those underprivileged who cannot afford to have the resources, we can also have a greater flexibility in terms of the resources that we have today. And our world is divided not only in the class. We are not divided not only as nations, but technologically and in research also we have been divided. We are not united. The collaborative work that has to be done, the collaborative work that had to have happened till date, it is not so. We are doing it in a very divided manner. We are not focusing in the issues in a united manner. So if we go on building a new education system with optimum utilization of information technology and the collaborative work, if we go on, then we can build a system where each and everyone from Sikkim, from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, from South Africa, from everywhere, we can share our ideas. We can work on the idea that have that conceptualized in one part of the world, and that will be made real in the other part of the world. And if this happens, then I feel that this will lead us towards peace also. And also the promotion of local entrepreneurship idea at the global level has to start now. Entrepreneurship, we can start it at local level. The idea would be local, but promotion should go to the global level. This is because this will help us unite the world. This will help us bring this entire world together. So another one is the decentralization of the economic activities using IT. uh, I just mentioned about the migrant laborers working from Delhi, Mumbai, and all those. So I'll just take some more time. Seems like Adhikari ji is looking at his wall, so just 2-3 minutes more, and then I'll conclude. So the main reason why migrant laborers had to rush back to their native places when the lockdown was announced is that the development all around the world has been done in a non-uniform manner. Villages have been left alone, and the cities have been developed for the entire economic activities. Now, if we go on decentralizing these economic activities, then we don't have to face this kind of situation. I might be too ideal in this while narrating this thing, but this is possible if we even succeed to keep back the 50% of our youths in the local level, in the villages, in the rural area, or localized in a place. Then that will help us create a better economy, a more decentralized and a uniform economy. And the last thing is the training of human capital using IT connectivity. We have information technology, we boast about it. We are now connected, we have internet, we have phone. We are such advanced people out here all around the globe, but we do not train those people in the rural areas through IT. We just use it for our convenience, but we do not use it to create the human capital. We haven't been able to use it to create a human capital and to enhance their potential to the global world. So these are the opportunities we have, and I hope all around the world, in our nation, in our state, we will be able to uh, at least uh, start the first step towards this change, so that the world will come in peace. The world will be in peace only when the entire system is at its best equilibrium, because all the chaos that has been created till date is either because of greed or because of the inequality that exists. So if we do it to bring it to the equilibrium, then I believe that we will be in peace. And the UPF have been working tirelessly. I have been attending the programs by UPF, and this is so encouraging, bringing all the world leaders together for a single cause. And for this, I would like to thank the UPF, and also applaud for all the programs that you have been conducting all over the world. And of course, on 9th August of August 2020, so there, as informed, I had been informed that we are having a rally, which led by uh, our mother moon. So I would like to appeal all the youths from all around the world, and also from my native place and my nation India, to join, and let's make it a big success for the peace of the country, for the peace of the globe, for the peace of the mother earth. And at last, taking this opportunity, I'd like to thank the entire COVID frontline workers all over the world for their selfless service. If they were not here today, then it would have been really a devastating crisis for us. At least they are here to save us. They are here to keep us safe. So thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Adhikariji. Thank you, Prakash sir. And thank you, Mr. Koji Matsuda ji, and the entire UPF leaders, and the Rotary Club leaders. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful and innovative ideas which you share with us. It's a glad and it's a privilege for